In Nantucket, Biden said he's hopeful a 4-day truce can be extended so all of the hostages, including other Americans, can safely return to their families. The Israel Prison Service confirmed that 39 Palestinians were released today in accordance with the temporary peace agreement. A Republican congressman says he supports House Speaker Mike Johnson despite voting against Johnson's recent spending bill to prevent a government shutdown.
I don't think that most Republicans blame Speaker Johnson for the challenges he's facing. Those were created during the McCarthy time period.
Speaking on CBS's Face the Nation, Ken Buck of Colorado says he believes Johnson is trying to reduce government spending and is going about it the right way. Buck added that unlike former Speaker McCarthy, Johnson will not face a Republican backlash for reaching across the aisle to get his spending bill passed. Congress returns from Thanksgiving break tomorrow with a full load of legislative business to take care of before the end of the year. Pope Francis delivered his Sunday prayer and message from the chapel of his Vatican residence instead of from the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square today. The Pope's remarks were televised on a jumbotron, so he didn't have to venture cold while suffering from the...
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website. Sunday night, gotta bless the show. Ooh, it's a tough one today, yo. Let's go. When I was in my mother's womb, I had a calling on my life to do something in the glory of God and marry it like a wife. Commit myself to his word and never be led astray. And when it's all over, when he comes, I'll be glad to see that day in the morning time. And you know what? That morning time, you know, it could be AM in the morning time, but it also could be some of those times where we are in those grieving aspects of our life. So I just want you to know that I experienced both of those. That morning time AM and that morning time, you know, as I think about my loved ones, especially around these holidays. So I just pray that in these grieving moments that you find your level of peace. I found my peace that, you know, God heals his people temporarily and permanently. And he healed my dad permanently. He healed my grandfather permanently. Healed my grandmother permanently. So whatever your relationship is to death, I pray that you figure it out for yourself. Find your peace in that, because no one escapes that.
Amen.
No one escapes that morning time. So even my dog, my dog in 2021. So, you know, I just pray that people find peace in those moments, man, because I think that, not that I think, but I know for me it's always challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
In those morning moments. So people mourn their cars and all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like not just human being mournings or animals, but people, you know, deal with loss in different ways. So
when you were talking about morning time, I'm like, you talk about morning what? What are you calling? Yeah, hopefully somebody's there to take care of that. But yeah, I feel you though, man. It's that's an interesting one. You like you said, you better figure out where your positioning is with that. Yeah. Or else it's going to be a rude one when you have to face it, and we never know when we have to face that one. So yeah.
You know what I told my daughters? I told my daughters that while I'm alive, you have to sometimes just sit and see how you would feel if I'm not here.
Preparing.
Wow. Not dwell in it, but see how you feel. Because when that day comes, I don't want you losing your mind.
Word up.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So I tell them, you got to just, what would it feel like if I'm not here no more?
You know, it sounds like you're really preparing them for you know, the ideal situation to leave before and leave your legacy behind and you know, go into with, you know, fearlessly and courageously to bring them peace, to know, you know, that's what my father did for me, the way he faced death. You know, it's the only thing guaranteed to life, and he faced it courageously and fearlessly. He was a man of faith, so he had his belief system, you know, going to heaven, and he chose heaven, but that touched me, and it helped me face my fear of death, because we all going to leave, you know. So that's why I choose to live each day I'm allowed to see, you know, because we do transition, we do depart.
And mine was when my dad, I wasn't prepared because he'd passed suddenly, but And then my grandson was born 2 weeks later.
Wow.
And then I'm in the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, well, how much time I got? And I start going down that tunnel.
Word up.
And that's when I had to figure it out for myself. Like, and I heard a pastor say that statement that God heals his people temporarily and permanently. And we only get an opinion about when, where, why, and how people die. We only get an opinion. So I had to get that in my heart to find my peace.
Amen.
So when it comes up in my thoughts, oh no, this is where I'm at. So I had to keep practicing that. So, when you hear about it on the news and all these things that happen, it's like, what do you say to yourself when that happens?
And then particularly around this time of year, the holidays, you have a lot of people that go into depression because they're lost. With that being said, I just want to, big up and pray and say God bless to my Holman family, and then to the Mosley family, my cousins. They both had lost their mother, my Aunt Teresa and my Aunt Joan. So this Thanksgiving was, I know it was a tough one because when I lost my father, all the holidays following that were really tough because you miss their presence, you know what I mean? But
and I tell myself I don't want to be the one. I don't want to keep that score. This is my dad's 5th year being gone, and I don't want to keep those those holidays and all. Like, I don't want to track that.
I hear you.
Like, I know it's there, but I don't want to track that.
Everybody's going to have different approaches on that, because to me, birthdays, I hope you continue to celebrate their birthdays at the minimum. That's something that I do. And just because for me, it's honoring the legacy, you know what I mean? But everyone's going to have their own approach in grief and mourning and all those things, to each his own.
Yeah, I honor my dad every day. So
Amen.
It's going to be weird when we're not here, because you want to know what's going to happen when the day that we're not here. Our loved ones are going to mourn us, and then they're going to move on.
Yes.
Because they have no choice.
Yes.
So that means whatever you do while you are here, you better leave a legacy that you can be proud of. Because end of the day, we are on borrowed time. Yeah. And like I said, they will move on. They'll have memories of us, and they'll miss us from time to time. But end of the day, we will get.
I'm trying to tell you,
they will move forward, because life don't stop for nobody.
Don't stop.
So,
I'm proof of that, bro. Because my dad, now it's my turn. I'm grandpa now.
Man,
that's crazy.
It's like life goes on. My grandparents, it's like life continues. Like you said, like that.
You really are the man now, the head of the house, the family. In many of cases that, many cousins and family members will come seeking guidance and wisdom and insight from your lived experience. But it's a blessing to have those responsibilities, to have a family that's coming to you for guidance and insight, that a family to support you and love one another and support one another. That's a blessing, and not everybody has that either.
I'm going to tell you, and I shared this on my page a couple of days ago. Like, I'm still about 2 minutes away from losing my mind.
We all are, man.
I'm still. But I'm talking about my dad passing. I'm still like 2 minutes away. Like, if I let myself go there and dwell there, bro, I'm done. Like that. So God and my mindset shift.
You got tools.
That's what I had to get, bro.
And that's the reason why you are able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have those tools,
bro, I would be in a hole somewhere in the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm 2 minutes away from that space.
Perspective, right?
2 minutes away from that space. So for those of y'all, dealing with the loss, I appreciate you for listening to us, but you got to find your peace in that.
Amen.
We just ask that you find your peace, because, like I said, no one escapes that. No one escapes that, and that's all I can say.
Personal development is humongous.
Yes.
It is humongous. You can actually really grow as a full-fledged adult. Believe it or not, you challenged me to do that years ago, and
I appreciate you for the trust.
It was very difficult, but to basically look at yourself and say that you are the problem was woof.
Yeah.
Now I'm okay to do. I'm like, oh yeah, I was a problem. But you know what? At least I apologize. I talked about it.
Right.
I grew from it. But
Amen.
whoa.
That initial though is.
Oh man, that's like getting uppercut, knocked out, and then you got to get woken back up and then deal with it again. It's like you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
It's facing the truth. You know what I mean? My personal belief is that our greatest battle within this lived experience is that of our own thinking.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so often our thoughts could be to our own detriment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of being positive or cultivating thoughts to build us up, so often we are tearing ourselves down, and it takes time to get to that headspace and that level of consciousness and awareness where you are taking control of your life now, not just letting life happen to you, you know?
You are the common denominator in all your relationships.
Every bit of it. Every bit of it.
You are the common denominator.
You are responsible for the success, the failures, the in-between, everything. And you have to realize that.
Yeah.
Word up.
That is the vicious part of it.
That's the
But
reality.
once you own it, though, it's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's freeing when you can
It's
own
very
it.
freeing.
When you can own it and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. I said that.
Yeah.
All right, so
Like
I
I
appreciate
hit that. Yeah. I did. Yeah. That was me. I'm sorry. But yeah.
Beautiful.
We're going to play the public service announcement, and then we'll come back and see what my man Ibiani got us. And then we're going to get into some sports because you see In the Zone is here, so there's a lot to talk about in these past weekends, I imagine. So
Well, y'all saw you seen it.
I seen it. So
Yeah.
the Farron Dozier Show on KC Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Shout us out. What's the count? Zetovia salve, made from natural and organic ingredients, good for inflammation, poor circulation, hemorrhoids, yeast infection, lip sores, dry coughs, eye pain, minor cuts and bruises, and ready to purchase at botanicaherbalco.com. 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 No dead air.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia. Not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
Welcome back to the front.
Yeah, no style.
On KC Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also stream with I got to stop playing with my phone. The station that leaves no listener behind. If you got to leave your vehicle, go into the store, go into the house, grab your device, type in kcaradio.com, click listen live or watch live. We're on the deck. It's the last show of the month. We had a whole show planned out, and here we are. You know, this is what happens when you do live radio. You get to make it up as you go sometimes.
Amen.
You got family emergencies, and
Right.
it sucks, man. We were gonna have 2 guests that reside in the same home, and a family member who is a known guy in the coaching community passed away. And everybody is kind of shooken up with this news. It is absolutely horrible news. Prayers to the family.
Yeah.
And I'm just, when I talked to Monty, I didn't even know. And it just kind of ever since he told me today, I've just been like, nah, man, this isn't it. Coach Will was with him last weekend.
Yeah.
So it sucks, man. Well, we got a call?
Yeah. Somebody's on the line? Who's that?
Who we got on the call?
Who's that? KCA. They
Because,
got questions?
Because we're not
That might be Coach. Coach
Oh,
Will.
you're like
You can add him to the line.
goddamn right, it's Coach Will. Get him on.
What's up, Coach?
Is he in traffic?
Hey.
What it do?
How's everything, guys?
Oh, man, everything's good, man.
My condolences, brother.
It's not him.
You hear me?
Yeah. You coming here or you headed to the H to the Izzo?
He should be going home.
Yeah, I'm on the road.
Yeah.
On the road again?
Where you at, bro? All this traveling you've been doing the past 2 weekends. Where you at?
We were in Arizona last weekend, and this weekend.
Well,
so
Tucson.
Arizona for a visit in Arizona State. So we got to see that big win that they had versus Utah, and then turn around and watch them put on a complete show. Forgive me, Arizona State, but a complete show against Arizona State. And you know what the biggest thing is, I enjoy, and what we're seeing is a product of, high class high school players coming from high quality programs, but it working, right? Like the process. Those kids were OC Buckeyes together, then they were Servite kids together, and then here they are performing on. Just 2 years ago, Arizona was 1-10.
Yep.
They are doing big things right now. They have a sophomore receiver who's a true sophomore, played as a freshman, and he's considered one of the top receivers in the country, maybe NFL bound. For sure next year, this kid is going to be talked about in the top, in the first round of the draft.
Whoa.
Now, if he stays, probably sky's the limit, which will probably talk the top 10. So it's been fun to see those guys, and then the staffs are always very, very professional in the way they treat the players when they come on those recruiting trips or unofficial visits and things like that. So it's not always about the show and the flash of the being able to look as an unofficial prospect where you get to kind of get in uniform and do all those things, but just the experience of learning what the coach's expectations are, looking at the environment outside of just campus life and players, right? You get to see the season ticket holders, people who come in and just support the program. So you never know. You could be sitting next to one of the biggest boosters while your kid's on the unofficial visit, right?
Yep.
So you got to watch how you're acting, watch how
Exactly.
the programs don't inherit just a kid, they inherit family.
Yeah.
So it's been a great experience, and seeing those guys who went through STARS, which is a reclass program, FD, right? And we're seeing what the production is on kids that get the capability to reclass.
Is Star still open?
Thanks, Coach.
Not at all. No. I think that I'm kidding. No, STARS is open, running, but they had to let go of some people. But it's good for those guys.
Well, it's great that they had to let go of some people. Man.
Right.
Jeez.
I mean, so that's another conversation for another day.
For sure.
Yeah, because that dude got range
For
from.
sure.
Never mind, but that is another conversation. What's going on next weekend, man? You on the road again, or you guys get to kind of chill?
we're in UNLV.
Ooh.
We'll be up there watching the championship game in UNLV.
Wait a minute. So help me out here because
Uh-oh.
Pac-12 championships Friday.
Yeah, we'll be there for that.
And they're going to have the Mountain West Championship on Saturday. Is that how that's going to go?
Correct.
Whew, man. All in the same stadium.
Can we be in Vegas next
All
weekend?
in the same stadium.
Yeah, that's going to be active.
Can we be in Vegas next weekend?
We should be in Vegas next weekend. But if we're in Vegas next weekend, are you going to bring the kids, or are you going to bring?
No.
Okay, cool.
It's first Sunday. I might have to talk to the.
Right.
First Sunday means that you need to give somebody communion. That's what you might need to do in Vegas.
In Vegas.
Really?
Yes, really.
Really?
Yes, really. What do you mean, really?
Take some communion.
Okay, we can take some communion off of someone's stomach.
And then, when you look at it right now, man, it's
Thanks, Coach.
about 5 head coaching jobs that just opened up at the collegiate level. I can't wait to see how they're filled.
Now,
Actually,
USC.
there's 6. There's 6. There's UTEP, New Mexico, San Diego State, Oregon State, Indiana, and Texas A&M. Obviously, Texas A&M being the biggest landing destination, and then who's going to take over for Oregon State as their coach just left for Michigan. So
Texas A&M just got the guy from Duke today, so Texas A&M's out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think that's a really good hire because that dude and his staff ain't no joke.
Yeah.
The win games in Duke.
No.
Do you know how hard that is?
Man, the blueprint was serious this year, and I was thankful for Coach Elko they reached out to us on a couple of occasions. They did like Ariane. They're actually recruiting him right now. So I like what they do. You know, their program is efficient, and you know, people don't look at Duke like I look at Duke. There's a couple schools: Duke, Kansas, North Carolina. I look at those programs like Oregon. You know, Oregon has a strong football and track program, decent basketball, but it's just the culture, right? When you talk about a Duke, when you talk about education, basketball, and obviously football coming along, and same thing with Kansas and schools like North Carolina, those are huge programs. A lot of, I guess you can just get straight to it, a lot of money involved, right? Right people around who care about the kids and how they transition. I think kids should gun for schools like Duke's and Kansas and places like that. So it's good to see that A&M got a guy like that who understands culture, right? He's gonna believe with you know, with building from within and from with his recruiting class. Just a lot of good things. I think that's it's a great pickup for them.
Duke is a hard place to recruit. I mean, because if you're looking at it from the spectrum, when we're talking academics, you're going to look at Duke the same way you're going to look at Vanderbilt, Stanford, Rice. Those are like academically, it's like they're just not getting everybody in there, which is a handicap to start. Yeah,
they have one of the top engineering programs in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, obviously, you know, A&M got the money. I mean, they bought out Jimbo. They're paying Jimbo $75 million over the next few years. Jimbo, he don't got to ever do anything.
Not at all.
So I don't know if that's enough for an A&M, because I think A&M as a culture thinks that since they make more money than everybody, that they can win.
Yeah.
That's not the way to go about it in the SEC. You never won anything in the Big 12 either.
Talking about, you know, guys moving around, Rob, every clip I look at on Instagram, championship games, I see a red hat in the background.
Say his name. Say his name.
Wait, I'm like, wait, did I see a red hat under the field goal post again?
Say his name. Say his name.
Listen, guys. Robert Lamar, the Robert Lamar, okay? The Robert Lamar has been at every championship game. Listen, athletes, student athletes that are listening in and our faithful listeners and supporters of what we do. When you see that red hat, get excited. Get excited. The guy is there to cover you, bring light to your program, individuals. He does it all, you know, and I salute you, man, because you have really you told us some things behind the scenes, and I've seen nothing but production, man, where you are at every game, including, you know, the championship game from the Sky Vision. So, man, salute to you, man, and being out there and really putting in the groundwork with, you know, with the program.
I appreciate that, man. It's I can't lie, I'm tired as no tomorrow. I'm really tired. I actually gave away my Clipper tickets last night because I just said, you know, I don't feel like being, you know, around people at that point when I was at Birmingham and Garfield last night.
What?
Yeah, I saw Adam Baum, the quarterback, Garfield. Saw him. Yeah, we're gonna talk later about that. But yeah, Will, I appreciate that, man. It's been it's not easy getting to all these places, man. You know, obviously I got to put what I got going on to the side to get to these places in a timely manner, and it's not easy. But being at that Coliseum in the press box was really dope. It was really dope, and the food was okay, but you know, to see it like that and just to kind of see that press box action is different. Yeah, but it was cool to get down the field.
Is that where we're going next? Do we need to get press box seats?
We got it. I mean, you saw it. Hey, that's it.
You're talking about a team that has 4 championships in a row.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
4 championships in a row. And then they're going to take on a team that is, you know, fresh out the gate. Del Norte has Nick Barnett, who used to play for the Packers. Great. You know, they have a good coaching staff. I checked them out early in the year. And it's going to be a special game. You know, you got a team that's done it back-to-back, even though they're a city section team, and then you have a team that's going to be new to this level of action. So I think it's going to be fun to see. We've had the pleasure of being blessed with 2 Birmingham players with Antrell a couple weeks back, and then Peyton Waters last season. So, you know, we're a supporter of the Birmingham and the City Section program as we're City Section guys, and I'm just excited to see, you know, what's to come. I'd like to see him take it all the way and get the state.
4 championships in a row, Will. That's
Wow.
insane.
That's
Have not lost to a city team since 2017. 2019, 2018, Narbonne is vacant, so that semifinal loss it never happened. It's vacated in the books. But it's crazy. And the whispers on the sidelines was free agency through high school.
Free agency.
And there was a name that came up that Arion's name came up. Shoot. yeah, because look, it's one of those things where to see it in action, these coaches are really working on that right now.
Wow.
It is vicious. You don't even tell us how many coaches have asked you about what's going on.
Wow.
I have an idea, but if you tell me, then somebody's going to get in trouble. It's not going to be you. But you feel me? But it's really wild, man. And it's the end of the year is always different because for me, I'm so exhausted because not only is it like championship weekend is always brutal.
Yeah.
But there's moving parts to go with it that makes it even more exhausting.
Yeah.
And for everybody to scramble right now, because everybody needs to figure it out ASAP, because people about to get left behind right now. And it's vicious. People are training.
Yeah.
People are trying to figure out where they're going to go. Some people are calling themselves homeless to be able to be eligible to play anywhere. It is crazy right now.
What?
To
that extent?
If you declare yourself homeless, if you're living in a hotel, they cannot prove that you are lying. That is immediate eligibility.
Man.
And everybody was talking about, I'm with the commissioners, and they're talking about it. They said there's nothing we can do about it. So, yeah, kids, if you guys are looking to play at a school and you got a hotel address and it cannot be proven,
Turn this mic on.
you have eligibility.
Yo, get him, man.
Eligibility.
Is out there.
We're gonna go
Eligibility.
to a station identification break right now.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Coach Will, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on this is no longer the Farron Dozier Show. We are in the zone with Robert Lamar on KCA Radio. Shout out to Lamar. I ain't even gonna say my name on that one.
It's okay. I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Get to this.
This is the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Shout us out. What's the
It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
The Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Shout out to what's the count? WDCONSCT.org for your sickle cell trait awareness. Zetovia salve, made from natural and organic ingredients, good for inflammation, poor circulation, hemorrhoids, yeast infection, lip sores, dry coughs, eye pain, minor cuts and bruises, and ready to purchase at botanicaherbalco.com. BOTANICAHERBALCO.com. BALCO.com. BotanicaHerbalCO.com. All right, welcome to another episode of the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio. We are in the zone with Robert Lamar, and the heme factor's on the line. I mean, you know.
So,
What?
Especially if you got a yeast infection.
You heard that? Woo, you never know. You never know.
So the beautiful he ain't worth a damn. That's that Will Lang I grew up with.
It covers everything.
Yeah. Man, I would love to take just a quick moment to run down a couple of those championship games. I really want to talk a little bit about the modern day Bosco, Warren, St. Bonnie, and a little bit about the Lucerna situation. Mission Viejo Servite, I kind of called that. I think that those two teams were outmatched. It was a good matchup being at the level of play, but I felt like Mission Viejo had too much talent when it came to the individual matchups. But the modern day Bosco
but Servite got lucky because Sincere didn't play and a couple other people didn't play for Sarah. So that's first and foremost how they got there. And they barely got there at that without a couple of them goons. But, yeah.
Sarah been good for a long time, though.
Very long. Very
long. You know, with the Servite quarterback, Leo Hayden, he's a Dream Life quarterback. So he plays for me in the offseason. So I have
yeah, he balled this year. He
had a great year. Kid's a legit, dual athlete, plays basketball. He's a guard in basketball. Can really play, man, but this kid really loves the game of football, and the amount of work he puts in to be a good quarterback at this level. They were 1-10 last year or 0-10 last year, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And so to see him do the things that they've done this year is amazing.
Yeah,
awesome.
But
what's your thoughts about modern day and Bosco?
This Bosco modern day turnout. I just felt like that was a big gap, man. We seen Bosco take a L, and I wonder did modern day just pick up the blueprint that the Hawaii team used?
I'll tell you what happened. So first and foremost, modern day and Bosco, division rivals. Coach Wills knows this.
Yeah.
They played earlier this year, and Bosco went 28 to donuts against Modern Day.
Right.
Modern Day didn't score 8 points. This is what Modern Day's coach said, and he said a whole lot. You seen the interview, Will. That dude was talking a lot.
Yeah.
He straight out said it. We changed up our signals.
Ooh.
Changed up the signals.
Ooh.
Changed up the whole lingo.
Ooh.
And made a couple defensive modifications in the scheme.
Yeah.
Basically change responsibility with certain players.
Yeah.
Because that pick six in the first quarter changed everything.
Right.
And that was film 101 to a T.
Watching the film, huh?
Ready for that pass in the flat?
Yeah.
Waiting for it?
Yeah.
Jumping on it like that?
Yeah.
Defensive end?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. That was
Steady.
you could tell. When I saw that, I said, okay, tonight's going to be different. Will, you're a city guy. Farron, you're a city guy. The Coliseum is not a friendly place for a team playing in a championship game that has previously played the team already. 8 out of 10 times, the team who has won the first meeting has lost the championship game rematch. That is the LA Coliseum for you.
That's the Coliseum?
It is a freaky place. And when I saw that interception in the first quarter, I said, it's going to be one of those nights. I almost forgot where I was at, and I immediately remember where I was at. I'm like, this place is very unforgiving for a good team.
Ooh.
It happens. It's history.
It's history?
It is history. We can't make this up.
Okay.
But it was scheme, bro. Well, they changed it up because as you know, everybody knows each other. They've been playing against each other since they were like 8. So that's why these games are so competitive, because of the familiarity with everyone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what happened was that modern day's coach said it himself. We changed up a few things. We changed up the calls, the signals, and the scheme a little bit. And this is the ultimate thing when you win. I mean, when you win, what are you adjusting on when everything worked?
You learn more from your failures, and they seem to have learned from their failures modern day.
Made
those adjustments.
That's
to
why.
be prepared.
That's my point, and that's what makes it almost damn near unfair when you're playing, because the talent is equal. It's not like one team has more talent than the other.
Yeah.
Talent's equal. So when we're talking equal talent, what overrules equal
X's,
talent?
fundamental X's and O's. What?
That's where modern day
Execution.
what a first year coach was able to get over the hump. But it's not like he's a first year coach. He's been on the staff for years, and he inherited a loaded roster. So that's good. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Robert. When you have these teams that are like rivals and they play each other multiple times a year, they may play each other
Like once a year.
Once a year,
Yeah,
and then
like
if they get to the championship, they might see each other again. Do you think it's good for a program to almost yearly be changing their lingo, changing pretty much the terminology they may use? Run the same system, but change the terminology because people might be picking up on that. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why I said it is because, I mean, you're going to know it's coming. But are you going to be able to stop it?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So when you got
formation,
when you're dealing with schools like that, they actually got coordinators that are the real deal. So it's on the coordinators to make those in-game adjustments. It's all chess. Right. So it's like you know the play call. you know they strong like trips to the left. You gonna stop them? Yeah. Or are they gonna go over the top on you?
Right. I hear you.
So I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it's like pretty much if you're gonna change, you're practically changing like every year. And if you got a culture and identity, there's no way you can do it. You got to stick with it.
I hear you. Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Coach?
No, man, that was he nailed it. It's we're on point with it. Before I go into the other team, I do want to. I'm gonna give you a shout out, FB. Your guys came up. Remember, your Riverside Poly guys said that they were gonna do what? They were taking back to the championship, right?
Yeah.
And they actually were able to come on and do that.
Don't do that, Will. Will, don't do that. It wasn't them.
Do it.
It wasn't them.
Do it.
It was their big homies that did that, and their big homies got smashed in the championship game. So
our other guests from Harupa, they won though.
Yes. What was
I don't know.
What was the mom's name?
I don't know.
But shout out to Jarupa Hills for winning a championship.
Awesome.
And the funny part is, he was my first guest. Coming back here.
Yeah.
So shout out, Robert Lamar brought championships here. That's Robert. Yeah, that's great.
No and Fairfax won too.
Man,
yeah,
I gotta go get me my alumni hoodie, man.
Do you understand what happened here?
I need to go get my hoodie, man.
Farron, what high school did me and Will go to?
Who cares?
You buster.
Right.
You hear this buster saying this?
Who cares? We talking about Fairfax.
You know what?
1988.
Yeah, like
1988.
Yeah, 1988. Yeah, just because you old enough to say that I went to school during the crack era. Shoot, this dude with the Fairfax. Yeah, they beat my school, man.
Yeah,
they beat our teammate, and that was hard to see the homie cry like that.
How did that feel?
You want to know how it feels?
Yeah,
so check this out. When you're in the fourth quarter and you're driving for the game-winning touchdown, and you fumble with like a minute left, and then you're lucky enough to stop the defense and send the game into overtime. You get the ball in overtime, and then you fumble again.
Man.
Oh. Fumbalaya.
As a coach, what do you do as a coach?
You got to get some stickum.
Well, you know what? That kid,
Some gloves.
The kid that he leans on, he's carrying the load by himself, man. I mean, no disrespect to the rest of the players and the amount of work that they put in, but once you kind of box in Isaiah, who was just a guest a few weeks back as well, once you kind of get him contained,
Isaiah had no room.
It's a long game,
yeah.
But when he has the room to move and do things that the way he can. it's a better outcome. But this week, at this level and this deep in the playoffs,
It's hard.
You got to have guys.
Shouts out
And
to
when
Fairfax.
you don't, this is the outcome. But I'll give him credit. Marvin is cooking the program, turned it around, got him back to a level of respect. And, I can definitely see kids in the Valley wanting to go and play for
I hope they
Chatsworth.
do well, because filming that game, it was really frustrating to watch, because you're watching your boy really try to call a game plan to win a championship, and you're seeing him in his head, and I'm like, Marvin, you are in your head, bro.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you're a
bad.
coach, and all coaches are. But when we're on the sidelines and we see that, it's not my place to say, Marvin, you got to let loose. I can't say that because that's not my place. But it's like, with that uptight play calling, it made that game. It kept Fairfax in longer than they had to be.
Yeah.
And to lose that game off of a Moss play, I had to.
Like a Randy Moss, he went up and made a great catch.
He mossed him.
Okay.
In
You
overtime.
showed me that. Hey, Farron, you showed me. I see what's that on the phone you were showing everybody. I want to see.
Oh,
Yeah, he's talking about that quarterback prospect for Colorado out of Georgia who decommitted.
Oh, wow.
yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah,
when I read
and
it.
you want to know what? Look, I'm a fan of Coach Prime, but I'm gonna say this: when he pulled his OC, who gave up a head coaching job to come over there, right?
Right.
You gave up a head coaching job to be a coordinator. That's a sacrifice. And to top it off, he was one of the best in the game. He wasn't a scrub, but for him to basically pull his duties, if I'm a quarterback looking at that, do I want to be involved in that?
Nope.
That's a lot right there, because at what it looks like is daddy ball.
Ooh.
And if we
It
got
goes
daddy
back
ball
to that.
going on in
Right.
college,
You don't want that.
I don't want Nathan to do with that. I'll go to Utah and play them every year, or I'll go to Arizona,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because at least I know I'm balling over there. I got a coach that's going to say, okay, cool, I'm going to teach you how to do this. If you don't know how to figure out how to do this, then you're on your own.
Right.
That's actual places of development. And Colorado has gotten better. But did you see enough from them? And they rebuilt the whole roster. They improved from last year. Did you see enough from Colorado, Coach Will, to the point where you feel comfortable with them moving forward as a program?
I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I was like everyone else early, because the amount of respect I have for Coach Prime,
Right.
in this phase as a not just as a player. I removed him as a player. I
Yeah.
mean the coach. That is the guy you want to groom your child, or your young man into an adult. He goes about business the right way. Did he come in with all the right pieces? Like he said, he was bringing in some luggage. He brought in some luggage, but he couldn't clean house. That
right.
wasn't going to work.
Right.
I
Yeah.
watched him not honor some scholarships. Like
Yeah.
the kid from Keeney, he had a scholarship. He didn't honor that. So he's trying to get the right things together. So going forward, I will say that him understanding what conference he's going into, having the opportunity, which gives him an opportunity to recruit from and pull from those other regions, right, to get the bigger guys that he's looking for the trenches. Because respectively, they only were losing games by, they had a couple blowouts, but mostly it was like a 6-point loss. It was a couple point loss. So going forward, they're bringing in other coaches who really know how to coach these positions, like Warren Sapp. So I think that this next year will be pretty good. That conference is breaking up. I don't see them being 4-7. I definitely see a above 500 football team next year. I see them being in the championship or playoff.
No Texas,
Not
no
yet.
Oklahoma.
Say it one more time.
Yeah, no Texas, no Oklahoma.
From my perspective, bro, I think that they improved strides and bounds, because only previous season they only won one game. This time they won 4. So if they could build and put 3 more on there, like you said, they'll have that winning record. They'll probably be playing in a bowl game or something. They might even play in a bowl game because just of the notoriety that he has, and the money that's going to be made.
There was a lot of unspoken expectations too set on him as well.
There really wasn't.
Yeah.
Because
well, he set the bar so high.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
that
saying.
Everyone was holding him accountable to
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Which wasn't
That's
the reality. So
that's
I agree
the
with
reality.
you on that.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing. Nobody expected them to pop Texas Christian, TCU. They popped Texas Christian, and that started everything.
Yeah.
That hype train went out of control from that.
Yeah.
So that's what they were like, oh, well, they can pop TCU, then they might do, and then it got real. But this is probably the best that the Pac-12 has been in a very long time. People thought Arizona was a scrub team, like when USC barely beat them.
Oh.
Arizona's what? And help me out, Coach Will. Is Arizona like number 3 in the Pac-12 right now?
Yeah.
On their way to the Alamo Bowl at this point?
Yeah, definitely. That's huge. You got Washington, you got Oregon, and then you got Arizona.
That's wild, man.
Hey,
help me out here, bro. What do you know about Lucerna?
I know that Lucerna is a team that has a lot of good culture, right? The quarterback who came back in, he came in and he had big plays going on a couple years back. They went far and deep into the playoffs. He leaves, go to Alamany. He gets hurt. He leaves Alamany, ends up at Cathedral, and that was working out for him, but he had a quarterback competition that kind of wasn't in his favor. But he was winning it, as they say, but it wasn't in his favor still. So then he leaves and goes back to Lucerna. Goes back to Lucerna, back home, back amongst the community of people that believed in him. He played safety, he played a couple of positions, but then they finally put him back at quarterback, and look what they did. They won a championship, man. So, if anything that I can say about the program is that they believe, they have a culture, and they build and take kids from their community. They're not getting a bunch of transfers in. They're in Whittier, man. That's nice. They're in Whittier, right? So the good kids and those parents are taking those kids to St. Paul.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a program over in that area called the Whittier Redskins, and I know a lot of those kids. It's a youth program. A lot of those kids grow up playing for the Whittier Redskins, and then they go on to like Lucerna and schools like that. So, yeah, man, they're doing well.
All right, we're going to play these public service announcement and something for you, Will, on the second piece of that, right here on the Farron Dozier Show on KC Radio.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
The Farron Dozier Show on KC Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Sickle Cell Trade Awareness, WDCONSCT.org. Check it out. Hit me up if you've got any questions. WDC on SCT.
Zetovia salve, made from natural and organic ingredients, good for inflammation, poor circulation, hemorrhoids, yeast infection, lip sores, dry coughs, eye pain, minor cuts and bruises, and ready to purchase at botanicaherbalco.com. BOTANICAHERBALCO.com. botanicaherbalco.com.
All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA radar.com website. Again, live radio, y'all. So, here we are. Man.
Definitely, brother. Definitely an honor to be here, as always. And I just wanted to first kind of plug and let the people know that we're bringing back our open mic, our luxury open mic in Fontana at Luxury Hair Salon. It'll be December 2nd from 7 to 10 p.m. This one is free. Normally it's a $10 donation, but this one's free since we've been in hiatus. We're going to have some amazing poets, comedians, singers. We also have a community discussion forum as well as individuals sharing about their business. I know you're in the Fontana area, so I've invited Robert Porter to come out, and you as well, if you're in the area, to come out, talk about the radio show.
What day is
What's
that?
the count? Saturday, December 2nd, from 7 to 10 p.m. at Luxury Hair Salon. I'll shoot you the invite.
All right.
But I say all that to say is I want to know just from you brothers, how does taking care of your health, or does taking care of your health help benefit your mental health? Do you guys feel that way? For myself, I exercise. I walk about 6 miles a day each day. If I'm lucky, I get 8 in like today.
Yeah.
And then I just did the turkey trot on Thanksgiving, you know, the 10K. And for me, it helps me with my mental health, taking care of my health. And I wonder if that's similar for you brothers.
You know, to tell you the truth, for me, I had to learn how to deal with my mental health within my own, within myself, because after I got injured in the military, I could no longer exercise, and because I didn't have that outlet, it led to a lot of my mental health issues and things like that. So I had to learn that if I'm gonna exercise, it's for my well-being versus like making it about something. So I had to, because if you can't get out to exercise, then what happens to your mental health? If it's connected to an outside source,
I hear you.
then that could be detrimental over time. So that's what I had to learn, because I use basketball as my outlet, and then when I could no longer exercise or do anything, my body was impacted. Then I internalized all of my emotional stuff. So no, today you got to have that mental toughness within yourself first, and then find out whatever your outlet's going to be.
Definitely, that's your approach.
Yeah,
Definitely. How about yourself, Robert?
I say if I can't work out, then I'm not mentally, I'm not that great, because I know that like I'm slacking and I need to really address my fitness. So I'm not good. Like my sexual health, if I'm not getting that, then I'm not good either. So basically, that goes a part of mental health.
Quiet. Put your phone on mute.
So like basically, if I'm not getting health, it ain't wealth for me and my body.
Amen.
So
Word up.
that's that. Well, we got 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
How about yourself, Coach Will? If you could chime in real quick, brother.
Oh man, you know, I'm constantly in a mix where I have to do some form of conditioning. But yeah, my days are always better if I can wake up and get a quick workout in, whether it's a quick jog or whatever it may be. You know, even if it's just push-ups, something to get the blood flowing before the sun rises. You know.
Definitely. Thank you, brothers.
Yeah, I guess if being physically challenged, for me, that's what I had to find my peace in, because I used to beat myself up for not going to the gym and playing basketball because I thought I had to have that release.
You thought you was a real hooper when I met you.
I was.
Too. That's
No, thoughts?
We were at the Staples Center.
Thoughts?
Okay.
I chose the military.
Okay.
I chose the military,
I will say
not basketball.
I will say
bless
this.
you.
I saw you on the Staples Center draining threes on the regular. I will give you that.
I chose the military and not basketball. So
Thank you for your service, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
I can still shoot.
Now, you know what? The next time when you
When-
get
when
saluted
I'll
for your
bring-
service, next time you get saluted, you make sure that you stand over
Hey,
and you look down.
if you got anything else,
and
man?
eye contact, and they say thank you for your service. I salute you. You
No,
make sure that you do that,
I will,
soldier.
I will.
I appreciate you,
Appreciate it.
soldier.
Thank you for
Definitely,
that.
definitely. No, just like how we kind of started the show, we just want to recognize those families and people that are dealing with grief, right? And you know, feel what you feel, but don't let those feelings confine you or keep you captive, you know, because as Rob said earlier, this experience is so temporal that each newly given day is a newly given day to all creation, and we need to appreciate that and make the most of each day, because one day will be our last day. You know, I often think if we were the Cyclops, they had the ability to see how their demise was going to happen. If we were able to see our end, would it motivate people? Would it get them to actualize in their own life? None of us are Cyclops, so get active right now. Take advantage of the day now. Seize the opportunity.
So I'll add to that. Again, this is only my personal experience. What I had to do was, from our development classes, I learned that we're human beings and we have a human experience.
Yeah.
So I experienced missing my dad a lot.
Yeah.
What I stopped saying is I miss my dad, Because when I said I miss my dad, it's like I put that on like a jacket, and then I felt the emotional stuff that came with it.
Yeah, I
so
felt that.
when I start saying I'm experiencing it, when I experience it in the daytime, I'll go play music, I'll go cry. But then when that experience is gone, I got to get back to who Farron's life is.
Amen.
And sometimes we take on that. I miss that person so much that you wear it, and then it becomes a weight on your mind. And to me, that's the difference of how we talk. Our words are powerful. So I had to start saying, I experienced missing my father, because guess what? Even when I'm talking, especially to my family, my voice is my dad's. Like, that's not even me anymore. Like, I'm talking to people, and I'm saying, that's what my dad would say. That sounds like my dad's voice. So can you imagine living with with your and you wasn't complete with your parent, and now you're listening to all those things that they taught you and they said to you, and you're not complete with yourself.
I hear you,
so
man.
the experience is so important. So we're human beings, not human doings. So you have to understand that you have a human experience, and it's okay if you don't miss your parent. It's okay there'll be days that you don't miss them, but when you do experience missing them, go be with that emotion. You can't hold that within. Go be with it, let it out, whatever you got to do, and then get back to your life.
Amen.
Coach Will, appreciate you, bro.
Shouts out, what's up, Coach? All right, man.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
You know it.
I'm going to get you some Zetovia salve.
Man, that's good, man.
Coach Will, the
East
guy of
infection.
colleges, baby.
Shouts out, what's the count? We'll be back in December. Shouts out to Common Go. Peace.
NBC News Radio,